you would like to be seen and to come across as an inclusive speaker, addressing as many needs as you can within your audience, you might find these tips helpful. So first suggestion I'd make is to come away from, if you haven't already, come away from that temptation, because several years ago the typical thing would be to say, welcome ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. No more. Try and find an alternative. What I tend to do is to either use the name of the event, say good afternoon, Conference 2024, whatever it is, or the place that you're in, the city, village, town, country even, or maybe the name of the organisation that has booked you. If you can't think of a generic term to use, then simply saying welcome to you all, welcome everyone, welcome to you, whatever, but just avoid the ladies and gentlemen, because chances are either there will be people in the audience who don't identify with either gender in that sense, or there will be people that think, bit out of date there, not acknowledging. So remember, it's not just the people in the audience, it is other people that are clocking what you're doing. One tip that I think was well demonstrated, I've talked in today's episode about the Olympics, which we've had Paris Olympics this year. And one thing they did every time a national anthem was played at the medal ceremony after each event was, it came across the tannoy, if you are able to, please stand. And I think that's a really good phrase to include, because there may be people who cannot stand, but there may be people for whom it's actually just too damn difficult to do it. Depending on why you want them to stand, do they really need to? Can they do the exercise seated? But just allowing for the fact that there may be people in the audience that are going to find it hard to stand. There will also be people in the audience that don't want to do that. They're there to hear you speak. They don't want to stand up. A lot of people have a real aversion to standing up and doing things. So depending on what you're asking them to do, but just be aware of that and give options. In a similar way, give options for putting your hand out, shouting the answer out. That was something that I learned the hard way in a sense, because as a fairly extrovert personality, if the speaker says to me, put your hand up, shout out, I'm going to do that. I don't mind doing that. For some people, they'd rather that the earth swallow them up than have to call out an answer or put their hand up. That's not the way their mind works. It's not better or worse. In fact, it's probably better to consider your answer and make sure it's right than to blurt it out and realise it's wrong the minute the words left your mouth. But again, giving options, acknowledging that not everybody likes it and making it okay for them to do it. And final point, so that this video doesn't become too long, just be aware that many neurodivergent people will find it hard to concentrate on what you're saying and taking notes. Now, other people love it. That's their way of processing what you're saying as well, and help it remember that some people find it too challenging. So find a way of, after the presentation, distributing some key points. I'm not saying you have to give the whole script of your speech, of course you don't, but just some key points, and making it known early on in your presentation that if they don't like taking notes, they don't need to, because they will be distributed. In the interest of keeping the video brief, I'm going to stop there, but let's have a conversation if you'd like any more tips.